Hey y'all, it's Rodeo Week right here on CityCast Houston, and today's Tuesday episode, we taped it live inside the Tacova store in Rice Village with myself, producer Carleon Jones, producer AK Al Momin. So things are going to sound a little different when it comes to the audio and the flow of the show, but I think you're still going to have a great time. It's Tuesday, February 27th. I'm Rahil Ramzan-Ali, and here's what Houston's talking about. It's Rodeo Week here on CityCast Houston, and we are here at the Tacova store talking about some interesting stuff, like how far does $100,000 go in the city of Houston? Would you be willing to live on Mars while you're in Houston? It's going to make sense when I talk about it. And we're doing some rodeo trivia, and we're giving away some prizes. Producer Carleon Jones and producer AK Al Momin join me. We are live at the Tacova store because it is Rodeo Week, like I mentioned. And welcome in. How are y'all doing?
Pretty great. I'm super excited to be at the Tacova store. I'm such a fanboy of the brand in general. Like, I think I go on their website regularly. So it's really dope to just be inside of the store, see all the branding, see the boots. I think I'm going to walk out here with some boots.
I know, same here. And that's the best part, like seeing it all here in the store. And by the way, this episode is brought to you by Tacovas. And make sure you stick around for our Tacovas tip of the day after this episode. And Carly, you were walking around. I saw you eyeing some of those boots. Our pocketbooks are about to take some hits here.
Yeah, it's really nice in here, y'all. I'm like so impressed. The store setup is beautiful. I'm like watching them brand boots like on site. We are drinking nice ranch water in the coolies. They even have shots here. This is crazy. Like, it's amazing. It's so beautiful. All the boots, all the clothing. Super nice store. I love it.
Get ready for the rodeo here at Tacova's in Rice Village. That's the location we're at, or you can go to City Center as well. They have two of them, so get all your stuff here. Like you mentioned, AK, like I used to buy it online back in 2018, and it's so nice to just see everything and try it on.
And also so comfortable in here with all the couches and the leather. Mm-hmm. It feels so like classic. Like I'm walking into an old-timey saloon, but modern.
Yeah.
It's so chic. I love it.
I love it too. All right, let's get to our biggest story of the week. Carly, you start us off.
Okay, y'all. So I have another list that Houston has made it onto, and I'm a little questionable about this one. So Smart Asset is saying that $100,000 salary goes further in Houston than in most large cities. Now, I know we've heard this before because Houston's supposed to be the most like affordable city, and that's why so many people move here. But with this inflation, I mean, I don't know about that anymore. I don't know. What do you feel?
Well, I mean, just think about inflation across other cities is also going on, right? So
true.
Everyone's dealing with inflation. Some cities have it worse. Although I did see a list that Houston was in the top 10 for toughest inflation rises. So, you know, we are being hit a little bit harder, but yeah, like $100,000 here has to go further than, let's say, New York, where rent is more expensive, or Washington, D.C., or any of the East Coast cities. So out the gate, you're saving money, right, with just the cost of living here. But you have some numbers to back this up.
Yes. So Houstonians that are earning $100,000 take home about $83,000, according to the study that Smart Asset did. Now, they ranked about 72 cities, and Houston ranked number 9, which before we were number 6. So I guess that did kind of like account for the inflation that's going on. But still, I'm just feeling it in our pocketbooks. Like everything is like going up, the grocery store. But as you said, in comparison to other cities, they're looking at relative rent costs. They're looking at how much it takes to, you know, feed your family and different things like that. And so if you are taking $83,000 home a year, if that is true after taxes, then, I mean, you are making a good living. But I just feel like, you know, is it easy to live for upper class citizens? I feel like that's just, you know, $100,000 a year, everybody's not doing that.
A lot of times I feel like there's this bad feeling that we can't really describe a lot of times when it comes to like inflation, especially in Texas. We've been such a low cost of living state for so long. It was bound to catch up to us at some point, but still it feels like year after year the gas bill is going up, the electricity bill is going up, the phone bills are going up, and it seems like it's always accounted for. It's one more year, it's going to get more expensive. And I feel sometimes that's not accounted for. Like in totality, you feel like you're going to have to save a little less every year to keep it going because you're going to have to pay on your bills a lot more. I don't know if that is just an effect of like all of us doing better under this economy. So it has to come up with us, like it has to rise up. But I do understand that people have this disconnect between like we're all doing really well, but somehow every year it keeps increasing, and I don't know how we can like conjoin those two ideas.
And you know what else is interesting to me? Like when I travel and meet other people, like I've met some people from Ohio, for instance, they tell me that some of their rent is still like $600. And I'm like, how is Houston so affordable, like quote unquote, if there's places that still have $600 rent? You're not getting that
You want to live in Ohio?
But
no.
do you want to live in Ohio?
But see, that's the thing, right? Like, do you want to live in Ohio?
We're the cheapest major city in the United States still, by far.
Yeah, there's other places where you can still find that type of rent, right? But you're not going to be close to all the entertainment, the great food, just the overall experience of being in a city. One thing I do want to point out, with the fees that come on your bills, this is where it gets frustrating, right? For example, electricity. Your electricity use might be $50 and you're paying another $50 in just using the grid, right? So like the fees are now as much as your actual usage. Where I live now, just the sewer fee for using water is almost double sometimes. Like it is crazy. So yeah, I believe it. Like, yes, it's better to make $100,000 here, to make $100,000 a year in Houston, but ooh, man, it's getting to that point where it's getting really expensive.
And like I feel like the administration, top to bottom, is trying to figure out a way to remove a lot of those mystery charges, to remove a lot of those excessive fees. I do think that we need to put, instead of just the inflation, we do need to put the Texas government under fire a little bit. The fact that we live on an independent grid that's owned by like by 3 companies or whatever is a little bit problematic, where the rest of the country gets this like kind of flat rate to start from, where we have to exist on this grid that we don't have other options. Like this is not a marketplace. Really.
So this is where it gets interesting with the grid, right? One of my friends, he used to live here in Houston. He moved to Georgia. He's in Augusta. And he was telling me over the summer, like when everyone's bills are crazy because we had the heat dome, you know, some people were paying $200. Like my monthly bill got up to $200, right? You know what his bill was in Georgia, which is part of the national grid? I believe we can fact check that. His bill was almost $500.
I would have moved out.
So like, you know, there's pros and cons of everything. This is just one example, but that's an interesting story. I'm going to get to my biggest story to start the week. And this goes back to that press conference last week with Houston Police Chief Troy Finner talking about at least 4,000 sexual assault cases and perhaps investigations in other departments were suspended since 2016 because of a discontinued internal code, which basically said, hey, we don't have enough people working here, so here, let's just put this code on it. Finner said he learned February 7th that despite ordering employees to stop using the code in 2021, some inside the department had continued doing so for the next 3 years. He declined to say exactly how many cases in other divisions were being reviewed, but said that over 4,000 cases came up during a search for cases closed because of this code that said, oh, we don't have enough people. This is heartbreaking to hear. This is just so sad. I know a person whose case was just kind of thrown under the rug because they're like, oh, nothing even happened here. I don't know if it was marked with this code, but somebody that goes through this from the victim's perspective, you have no power, right? You just feel helpless. Like you think you're going to the police to do the right thing. And they just go, actually, you know what? You know, no, we don't have enough people. Like, imagine hearing that, right, after such a traumatic event. And it is heartbreaking, but it is good to hear that HPD is like, hey, we're going to fix this. And we are going to allocate more resources to get some of these cases tested out, make sure the kits are being tested, make sure we're investigating. So that is the good part, but it's heartbreaking to hear this.
But you said from 2016, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's crazy though. From 2016, that's when I graduated like high school. So that was over 8-9 years ago at this point.
Pre-pandemic, that's a completely different world.
Exactly, that's a whole different world.
The code started in 2016. They told them to stop using the code in 2021, but still it was being used for the last 3 years as well. So that, you know, we'll see what happens with this story. And by the way, the Houston Chronicle had the reporting on this that we cited. But, oh my gosh, it is, you know, it's heartbreaking.
So sad. That's
I feel like a
traumatic.
lot of parts of our justice system here in Houston is a little wonky still. I'm glad that they're admitting to some of the things. Like, I'm glad that they're admitting to this. I'm glad that they're admitting to the stuff that's happening in Harris jail. Like, I'm glad that we're getting some accountability, but we need action.
That's we need action, and we'll see if that action comes from these reports, from these investigations, and that's going to be the big solution here, is what action is going to happen here. Houston, it's rodeo time. Whether it's your first rodeo or your seasoned pro, your local Tacova store is the place to go for the finest handmade cowboy boots, jeans, belts, cowboy hats, and apparel for men and women. Their perfectly understated approach to Western wear will have you looking good and feeling great from head to toe. And if you've never owned boots before, nothing would make them more proud than to put you in your first pair like they did for me. Tacova stores also offer complimentary services such as free drinks, boot shines, and custom leather stamping or branding that will make your boots truly one of a kind. And just in time for the Houston Rodeo, Tacovas will also be offering complimentary Pendleton whiskey cocktails, rodeo-themed branding irons for your hats or leather goods, and the chance for you and a friend to win pairs of new boots starting February 23rd through March 17th. So stop by your neighborhood Tacova store in Rice Village or City Center and get raring to go to the rodeo. Tacovas, don't go gently. All right, let's do some rapid fire, y'all. I have some interesting stories for y'all. First, let's talk about the rodeo and the community impact, because I didn't know this, and I don't think a lot of listeners understand just how big the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is in terms of impacting the community, okay? You stop me when you hear an interesting number. I'm just gonna start ripping off some of these numbers, and you tell me, like, Raheel, pause, I've got some thoughts here, all right? Okay, so there are over 30,000 exhibitor entries, and it sets the world record at the Junior Market Show auction. So these are like people who want to be part of this, and there are 30,000 entries. How about that?
Wow.
Here's the next one. Since the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo began in 1932, more than $600 million has been committed to the youth of Texas and education. Each year, more than 800 scholarships are awarded to Texas students by the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Yo, I love that.
Actually, so nice.
That is dope.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things, is when you see all the scholarships that are being handed out. You know, like, they might not be $50,000 scholarships, but thinking about college, like, a $5,000 scholarship would help a lot, right?
Yeah, and I love seeing that, because a lot of things that we put so much money into, like, we feel like, okay, we're putting money into this and they're just taking it, or, you know, something like that. But to see that they're giving back to the community, giving back to the children of our community, because that's really the base of what's really gonna make Houston flourish in the you know, next few years. So I love that. That is amazing.
And, like, all the art pieces that you see,
yes.
Like, that's one of my favorite, like, ways of kids getting scholarships, like seeing the winner and they're so happy. Like, it's always so cute.
Last year's winner, their art piece was so impressive.
Beautiful, right?
Oh my God.
I was blown away.
I literally thought it was like a picture. Like, she took a picture of a cowboy, but she painted. Oh my, it was amazing, y'all. If y'all haven't seen it.
These kids are so talented.
Shout out to them, because if I was a rodeo organizer, I would have like a big $50,000 scholarship, and it would come down to 2 students, and they would have to do the bull riding to win it. Like, that's how that's how I'm awarding scholarships. See, that's why I'm not on committees, right? Because,
exactly, because no.
Here's the next number. Check this out. More than 35,000 individuals serving on 110 different committees from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Volunteer Corps put in more than 2.1 million total hours of service amongst them. So if you don't have friends who are on committees, they are so proud of it. It's so cool. Some of these people have been on committees for 10, 11, 12, 20 years sometimes, and they look forward to just giving back to the community.
These people are putting in more work than the U.S. Congress.
Oh, hey, Kay, got
the shade.
Yeah, but like, and they're all volunteers. They're not getting paid for that. Oh my God, that's impressive.
Awesome. So just wanted to point out some of the community impact from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. I love it. It's so cool to see everyone just taking part and being part of one of Houston's marquee event,
Yeah.
if not the marquee event, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it,
I mean,
it has to be the marquee
I
event,
think so.
correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I cannot think of another event that we have that's statewide citywide, that basically takes over our entire collective mindset.
Yeah, I love it because it brings the whole city together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what race, background, anything. Like, it's all there, and we're all together, dressed up in our little country outfits. We are the Texans that everybody from other states think that we are for that week or a couple
That
weeks
week,
that
yep.
the rodeo is in town. So it's amazing.
Also, but we bring a lot of Houston flair to it.
Oh,
A
for
lot
sure.
of the glitter, a lot of the
Yeah.
glamour, a lot. Yeah.
It's totally different when Houstonians get a hold of Western culture, right?
Yes.
Okay, my next story. Are you willing to live in a Mars simulator for a year? So NASA is taking applications right now to go live in a simulated space environment which is 3D printed at Johnson Space Center, okay? You're gonna be doing simulated spacewalks, you're gonna be growing vegetables, you're gonna be learning how to use the restroom in a Mars environment, and crew members will have to do certain activities like operate robots, exercise, maintain the facility, and this is all about getting us ready to go to Mars, right? So you got to practice, you got to figure out best practices, you got to figure out this is what's going to happen when you actually get to Mars, but you're going to have to live there for a year in this 3D printed environment
How for a year?
for a year.
For free?
No, you will get paid.
How much?
But this is where
Talk to me with the dollars.
I know. I wish I had a dollar amount to give you, but this comes from Houston Public Media, and the story says details about pay will be discussed during the screening process, NASA said. So it depends on your qualifications. So I don't know about y'all, but I think I kind of know y'all's educational backgrounds. We can't just go apply, unfortunately, because you need to have a STEM background to apply for this, right?
So my wife can apply for
Yes.
this, and she would never do it.
Yeah.
I wish I could do this.
That's so interesting, though. Like, why do you have to have a STEM background? Is there like a reason
Yeah,
behind that?
because you'll be testing out robotics equipment.
And soil
yeah,
and stuff.
soil
You need
and
to have
yeah.
a chemistry or physics or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
feel like.
Okay.
So yeah, your science, technology, educational, and
I don't
math
know why
background.
immediately my mind went into like, this sounds like the plot to a horror movie.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'm glad yours went to that too, because you know what mine went to was the submarine. I know it's not the submarine. I know it's not that, but it's just that's literally the first thing I thought of was
Mine
like,
is
oh no.
Like it sounds like a Blumhouse style movie, like a Paranormal Activity. Like there would be like found footage
Yes.
camera of us going crazy slowly in there. But I understand Rahil's perspective. It would be cool to just like be on the forefront of what humans look like for the future. I get it. I get what you want to do.
I'm definitely the person who likes to see other people test things out first before I go into them.
I want to do this really badly. Carly, you don't want to do it. I want to do this. If I didn't have 2 kids and a wife to worry about, and also the educational background for it, I would be there. I want to go to Mars like that. I want to live on Mars. I tell my oldest daughter, I want to be the first one. I won't be the first one because I think we're still a lot of years away, but I tell my oldest daughter all the time, you're gonna be the first woman on Mars. You know that, right? Like I'm planting that seed in her head, and she goes, no, I don't wanna do that. And I'm like, why? You would be like one of the pioneers of our race, of humankind. And she goes, because I'm just gonna miss y'all too much. Yeah. Isn't that the sweetest thing
That's
ever?
so cute.
And
Oh my gosh.
I always tell her, I'm like, if I go to Mars, I would miss you too. I would FaceTime you, but I'm still going.
I mean, Rahil, you can just go back to college. You can go get you a second degree.
That's my goal.
You know?
At some point, I will. I want to become an astronaut. I think it's a little too late. I think I can do the physical
You
stuff.
can-
I can't do the
Well,
educational.
now that we have like private companies who are going to like low orbit space, I think
looked it
they're
up.
going to need like private pilots.
He's like, I know
I
already.
looked at. I was like, can you apply for communication roles? And you can actually. Yeah, you can. But again, I don't know if I can leave for like 2 years to train, because that astronaut training is incredibly hard. So this would be a good, backup. Just live on this 3D printed environment of Mars, and you can act like an astronaut for a year. So that'd be pretty cool. Do y'all want to play some trivia? Let's play some trivia about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Yeah, let's
I'm
get it.
excited. Yeah, let's get it.
Okay, it wouldn't be rodeo week without some rodeo trivia. And we have Stephanie here. Stephanie, what do you do in the city?
I mom all day.
A mom all day. How many kids?
2.
Oh my gosh, how old?
Too old for me to say I mom all day.
Okay, nice. I have a 9-year-old and a 1-year-old, so I don't mom all day. I dad all day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's,
hard.
you know,
I don't think people understand how hard it is, right?
It's also enjoyable.
Yeah, it's great. You make a lot of memories,
Yeah.
and you don't get much sleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Stephanie, we're going to play a little trivia here, okay? Some rodeo trivia about one of the best events here in the city of Houston.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you 5 questions. I'm going to make it easy for you. All you have to do is just get 2 right, and you're going to walk away with one of our CityCast Houston mugs.
Okay.
Handcrafted, all right?
All right.
All
They
right,
look
are you ready?
amazing. Yes.
And these questions come from Carly, who's right here. So if they're hard, you blame her, not
Okay,
me. Okay,
I'm on it.
Here we
Carly.
go. Our first ever trivia live from Tacovas. Your first question: who had the most attended Rodeo Houston concert? Is it A, Beyonce, B, Brad Paisley, C, Los Tigres del Norte, or D, Bun B?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Yes.
That is incorrect. I thought it was Beyonce too. I thought it was Beyonce initially.
Okay, then I think it's C.
It's Los Tigres del Norte. Yes, there you go. Audience help is encouraged. So if
Audience,
anybody over
yes.
here
Thank
at the
you.
store, you can. You know what? Since the audience got it right, I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, okay, great.
All right, so that's
Yeah,
one correct. You
thank
just need
you.
one more. All right, and you got
Okay.
this. All right, here we go. The rodeo didn't officially change its name to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo until 1961. What was the original name in 1931? Is it A, the Texas Cowboy Jamboree? Is it B, the Houston Hootenanny?
Oh,
Or is it C, the Great Houston Roundup? Or is it D, Houston Fat Stock Show and Livestock Exposition?
I don't think it's B, but I think we should bring it back to B.
Shouldn't it be the Houston Hootenanny?
Yeah.
I think that it should be the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and
I don't
Hootenanny.
think that we use that word nearly enough,
We're bringing
in
it
fact.
back.
I think so. But my answer is going to be C.
Ooh, the Great Houston Roundup sounds awesome, but it was not C.
It was A.
It was D, actually.
D!
Yeah. The
Oh my
Houston
gosh.
Fat Stock Show and Livestock Exposition.
Well, I think that we need to say Hootenanny instead.
Hootenanny would be better. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'll give you another opportunity. You got it. You just need one more, okay? The World Championship Barbecue Contest does not judge the following meats, okay? Chicken, brisket, ribs, or link sausage.
I think they don't judge chicken.
They do judge chicken.
They judge chicken.
Yeah,
Man.
they do judge
Gosh.
chicken.
Is it
Yeah, they don't judge sausage.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is it embarrassing that I'm from Houston and I know nothing apparently?
That's why we're doing this.
Okay.
We still have 2 more questions.
right.
You got this.
All right.
You okay?
Let's go. Carly.
All right, regroup.
Wow, thanks.
Carly, help her out. You know? Yeah, we need those
Okay,
mugs. We
here we
need to give
go.
this one away to you. Come on.
All right.
2 questions. You need 1 right. You got this.
All right.
All right, here we go. What is unusual about the barrel racing event? Is it A, only women are permitted to participate? Is it B, riders must weigh less than 140 pounds? Is it C, by rule, each barrel has a rodeo clown inside? Or is it D, it's the only sanctioned professional rodeo cowboy association event that allows contestants younger than 21?
Okay. I think it's either A or D.
Okay, you have it narrowed down. I will tell you it is A or D. So now,
Okay. All right. Okay.
right? Barrel
Let's
racing is
say
such a fun
A.
event. Yes, you know what? You got it right. You win.
Yes.
Yes. Only
Turns
women
out I
are
have
permitted
been to the rodeo before.
You've seen them. It's so much fun. Before the concerts, you see all the actual rodeo events going on.
Yes.
And yes, only women are permitted. So Stephanie, congratulations.
Thank you.
You win our mug. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see you at the rodeo as well.
Yes, I'll be there.
What's your favorite part about the rodeo?
I like the events before the concert.
Yeah.
The concert's just, icing on the cake. The events are the fun part.
It is. It truly is. Stephanie, enjoy raising your kids here in the city of Houston, and thank you for joining us here.
All right. Thank you.
congratulations again to Stephanie on winning our awesome handcrafted mug. And it was so cool to hear some of those facts. Carly, thank you for getting those questions for us. Those were super interesting. And thank you to Tecovas for having us out here. That was a lot of fun to talk about some of the news, talk about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Killer store, killer service, killer drinks.
Yes.
I loved it. I want to live here.
Yeah.
Look, 10 out of 10 would recommend y'all come out here and get y'all some boots because they're so cool.
AK, thank you so much for being our on-site producer and jumping on the mic with us. Producer Carleon Jones, thank you for bringing some of the stories and hanging out with us as well. And again, thank you to Tecovas. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, hit the rodeo, people.
Yeah, see y'all at the rodeo.
It's Rodeo Week here on CityCast Houston, and I'm here with your Tecovas tip on how to enjoy the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo like a pro. One of my favorite parts of visiting the rodeo is obviously all the food. You've got your Texas classics like barbecue brisket, right alongside stunt foods like deep fried lasagna rolls. And I've perfected my own method for finding the best food at the rodeo. First off, always take a full lap around the entire fairground before buying something. Don't settle on the first food you see or smell. Secondly, if you're going to a concert inside NRG Stadium, you're better off snagging something to eat outside in the fairgrounds. Not only will it be cheaper, it will probably be better as well. Finally, it helps to have some expert recommendations in hand. CityCast producer Carleon Jones is a big fan of the fried chicken, bacon, and funnel cake combo from Sill's Funnel Cakes. That's delicious. Brooke Lewis, Hey Houston editor, keeps it traditional with some juicy brisket from Good Company Barbecue. And I prefer to blow my diet out of the water with some deep fried cheesecake from Granny's. Tomorrow, we're going to dig into even more of the wildest and most delicious food options at the rodeo this year, so come hungry. Step into a new pair of Tecovas for wherever your journey takes you, and remember, don't go gently. That will do it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.